It looks like Evie's arrival is going to completely shift the world of Peppa Pig. It's wild to think that one tiny new character can bring such a huge change. But that's exactly what's happening. From now on, life won't be the same for Peppa, George, or their parents. This new little piglet is set to shake things up in the best way possible. The whole family is buzzing with excitement, and not just Evie's parents and siblings. All the relatives must be absolutely overjoyed. So naturally, one of the first big moments after Evie's birth is going to be a big family visit. Everyone will want to come meet the newest member of the pig family. You can probably expect one of the early episodes after her birth to center around a heartwarming family gathering. Of course, Grandpa and Grandma Pig will be there. That's almost a given. But it's also likely we'll see Uncle Pig, Auntie Pig, and Peppa's cousins too. Baby Alexander is bound to be part of the group, especially since he's just a little bit older than Evie. And because this is such a big moment, there's even a chance that Mommy Pig's sister, Aunt Di, might make an appearance. Even though she lives in another country, she already knew about the pregnancy, so it wouldn't be too surprising if she came back to be part of this joyful occasion. And you know what would make it even more interesting? If we finally got to meet some relatives we've never seen before. Daddy Pig's parents, for example, have never actually appeared on the show, even though it's been around for over 2 decades. This could be the perfect chance for the writers to introduce them. Fingers crossed they take the opportunity, because it would be really special to get a glimpse of Daddy Pig's side of the family. Now that Evie's part of the family, a whole bunch of new storylines can unfold. One of the most obvious changes is how Peppa and George will start interacting with their baby sister. Peppa and Evie are going to be really close, playing together all the time. But George? He's not going to sit this one out. Since he loves goofing around and playing, there's no way he'll miss a chance to hang out with Evie too. That said, things probably won't be smooth from the beginning. We all know that Peppa and George have pretty different styles when it comes to playtime. Peppa likes quiet, imaginative games.
Oh, can you help me? I've got a horrible cough.
Like pretending to be a doctor or a fairy tale princess. While George is all about action and running around with his beloved Mr. Dinosaur.
This is Mr. Dinosaur. Can you say dinosaur? Go, go.
Because Evie's still a baby and hasn't really developed her own preferences yet, both Peppa and George are going to try shaping how she plays. So it's totally possible they'll start arguing over what games she should play, each one pushing their favorite style. The result? Evie gets overwhelmed and starts crying. That's when Peppa and George will realize that their little sister doesn't care about picking sides. What she wants most is peace and family togetherness. From that point on, they'll probably take turns with her or even combine their playstyles so Evie can enjoy the best of both worlds. Now let's be real, bringing home a baby changes everything, especially for the people who are around the most. And in Peppa Pig, that's definitely Mommy and Daddy Pig. It was already pretty hectic managing just Peppa and George. Now with a newborn in the mix who needs constant attention, things are going to get way more challenging. There's just no way they can do it all on their own. Thankfully, Peppa and George will likely pitch in to help. Peppa in particular will probably be thrilled to lend a hand, especially with fun little tasks like giving Evie a bottle. But when it comes to more, well, let's say unpleasant chores like changing diapers, it's probably a different story. Let's be honest, Peppa might think that's a little too gross. And George? He might be even less enthusiastic. George has always been the baby of the family. He's used to being spoiled and getting a lot of attention. But now with Evie around, that dynamic has shifted. He's officially the middle child, and that comes with some adjustments. At first, he might resist helping out, especially if it feels like a chore. But eventually, he'll come around. Maybe not for diaper duty, but at least to help with the fun stuff, like dressing Evie in cute outfits. And then there's school. You can bet that Evie is going to meet all her extended family, but the excitement won't stop there. Peppa's friends are definitely going to want to meet her new sister too. So don't be surprised if there's an episode where Peppa brings Evie to school for a visit. The other kids will be completely smitten with her. No doubt about that. What's going to make that episode even more special is the meeting between EVIE and Madame Gazelle. There's a long-running joke that Madame Gazelle might actually be a vampire, and possibly the oldest character in the entire Peppa Pig universe. So if that's true, then it'll be a meeting between the oldest and youngest characters on the show. Pretty cool, right? Then there's the exciting moment when Evie says her very first word. Even though time moves in strange ways on the show, it does move. Characters have birthdays, grow older, and change over time. Baby Alexander is a perfect example. He went from being a newborn to a slightly older baby in just a few episodes. And the same thing happened with Mommy Rabbit's twins. So eventually, EVIE will start to grow up too. When she does, one of the biggest moments will be her first word. Usually, babies say either mama or dada, and based on how involved Mommy Pig is in her daily care, mama would make a lot of sense.
Peppa, do you remember what your first word was?
No.
It was mummy.
But considering Peppa is the star of the show and is likely to be super close with her little sister, there's a good chance Evie's first word could actually be Peppa. That would be such a sweet moment and definitely something the show's creators might go for. But growing up means more than just saying words. It also means learning what's right and wrong. And one thing that might come up is Evie figuring out how to tell the truth. When she starts talking, she might get into the habit of making things up just for fun. Not necessarily to be mean, but just because she doesn't quite get that honesty is important. This could turn into a pretty funny situation, especially if she starts telling little lies that confuse or surprise the rest of the family. Eventually, there will probably be an episode where she learns why lying isn't okay and how it can hurt people's feelings. Whether it becomes a short-lived issue or a running joke, it's something that's likely to pop up as part of her growing up story. Now let's talk about the one character whose life is going to change more than anyone else's. Mommy Pig. She's been through months of pregnancy, all the physical and emotional changes that come with it, and now she's taking care of a newborn. That's a huge deal. She's going to be exhausted and need some time to recover from childbirth. On top of that, she'll be the primary person taking care of Evie, especially during the early weeks. Feeding her, comforting her, making sure she's safe. It's all on Mommy Pig's shoulders at first. And while Daddy Pig will definitely be doing his best, he's also going to be working harder than ever to support a growing family. So you can see how this new chapter is going to touch everyone in the pig family. From helping with baby chores to adjusting to new roles and forming new sibling bonds. Evie's arrival is more than just a sweet moment. It's the start of a whole new adventure for all of them. And with this change comes lots of fresh, fun stories that fans will be eager to see. Whether it's hilarious mishaps, sweet moments between siblings, or a rare visit from a long-lost family member, there's so much potential. Peppa Pig might look the same on the outside, but inside the house, everything's different now, all because of one tiny, adorable piglet named Evie. And that wraps up everything I have to say about this new addition to the family. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.